In Shakespeare's The Twelfth Night, nearly every character undergoes a transformation, driven by motivations such as survival, power, love, and control. Viola, our protagonist, disguises herself as a man. This way, she can find work and be able to survive, something that would not be available to her as a woman. As the story develops, every character becomes involved in these twisted schemes, where they manipulate others, whether out of desire for love, survival, or pure power. Olivia is able to love Cesario without knowing who he truly is, and Viola masks her love for Duke Orsino, as it would be incredibly unlikely for anyone to suspect Cesario of being in love with him. With these fake identities in mind, they spark the age-old question, is love blind? Love is Blind is a Netflix reality TV show that began in 2020. Hosted by Vanessa and Nick Lachey, the show is a social experiment aiming to figure out if you can truly fall in love with another person without actually seeing them. Singles go through a speed dating process where the men and women are split from each other and date behind walls so they can't see who the other person is. Although not an official rule, and one that gets broken every once in a while, singles are generally not supposed to disclose their ethnicity or body shape to keep the profiles mysterious. Once they enter the life outside the pods stage, engaged couples are sent on a vacation, and then to an apartment to see if they have physical chemistry and can adjust to regular living together. For some couples, they can find true love and even start families with someone they met through the pods. But of course, this is reality television, and things get messy. There are so many bizarre, fame-chasing people that appear on Love is Blind, so much so that I cannot realistically go over all of them and make comparisons to the handful of characters from the 12th Night. I'd like to compare and analyze a few who have really stood out over the show's run. Enter Chris Fusco, a man appearing on the latest season, airing in February 2026. A veteran and account executive, Fusco quickly became the villain of season 10. He first matched with Jessica Barrett, an infectious disease physician. At first, the couple seemed to be in love and enjoyed each other's presence on the vacation, but when they got home, there was a clear disconnect. In one of the most infamous scenes of the entire series, Chris humiliates Jessica. I'll let you see it for yourself.
To be totally honest, and without sounding like a in the normal world, I date people who
The couple breaks up before the weddings even occur, and Jessica receives loads of support from most of the women. Before the weddings, all of the couples reunite at a bar, and singles who did not get engaged are also invited to come. Chris and Jessica both attend, although Chris is quick to embarrass himself. He has had far too many drinks, gets aggressive when talking to others, and tries to flirt with one of the engaged women, Bree, who even entertains his behavior. It is very clear that Chris finds her much more attractive than Jessica, and Bree soaks up the attention he gives her.
Dude, Bree is so hot. I saw Bree and I was like, yeah, I'm into her. I want to talk to her. And Connor, I don't care. What's he gonna do? Exactly. Beat me up? Yeah. Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Connor, but he's very submissive. I could have turned up the notch with you, and Connor wouldn't be.
What do you mean?
In existence.
With this being said, I believe there is one 12th Night character who is most similar to Chris, that being Malvolio. Both men are arrogant, prideful, and become social pariahs due to these traits. Malvolio's imprisonment, where he is visited by the Fool, disguised as the priest Sir Topaz, in my opinion the funniest scene of the entire play, is very similar to these awkward bar interactions that Chris undergoes. Both men's egos are destroyed by the end, as Malvolio realizes he has been tricked by Maria, Sir Toby Belch, and the Fool, and during the Love is Blind reunion, Chris is absolutely slandered by everyone, including the Lachays.
To the Getaways, why were you so complimentary to Jess about your physical connection if you had doubts about your physical connection?
We just met each other for the first 24 hours. We had this amazing connection. I didn't want to put negative thoughts in my head.
When somebody has deep insecurities, the human reaction to that is to try to bring somebody else down.
What do you think some of those insecurities were?
Finances, not feeling stable, huge bravado and dominance and alpha.
The men both seek power, and the women they want out of need to compensate for their lackluster selves. However, in the end, they are the true fools in their situations. Love is Blind Season 7 is arguably one of the most insane of the series, as it involves cheating, intimacy issues, and lots of fighting.
I did make a completely stupid mistake while being drunk at a sleep test with somebody who texted me.
One of the women who stood out the most was Hannah Giles, a former cheerleader who came to Love is Blind to find her future husband. She becomes engaged to Nick Dorka. When the two become adjusted to the real world, Hannah becomes incredibly frustrated and bosses Nick around. She is obsessed with herself and her upbringing. Hannah constantly brings up how she moved out as a teenager and had to support herself at a young age, which makes her more mature than Nick. She acts as though she is significantly more mature than Nick and that she should be pitied for her life.
Your parents pay your phone bill. What's your plan with that?
I mean, eventually, like in the next year or two, I'll probably start paying for it. But as long as they want to pay for my phone bill,
so I'll keep my phone bill for me.
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're 28 years old. So I've been on my own since I'm 18. Yeah. So I've had to pay all the bills, right? Like, yeah. I pay my car insurance, I pay my health insurance, then I contribute to my 401k, then I contribute to my stocks.
I don't know shit about stocks.
Right. I can teach you.
Do you know about sports?
No, but money, sports, you know.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Does watching sports make you more financially successful?
I don't think stocks does.
What are stocks?
I don't know anything. I mean, I just never invested in stocks.
Once again, these two do not get married, which is honestly for the better, as they clearly hate each other. Hannah's consistent sorrow is weaponized in a very similar way that Olivia's grief for her brother is. Both lock themselves away from real connections with men. Relatable, but these actions only drive the women to be more ridiculous. They reject their lovers as the men do not meet their believed intelligence and maturity. Both seek some sort of external validation for their tragedies, someone who gets them. However, their societies cannot provide this. The only person that Olivia can actually love is literally a woman dressed as a man, and Hannah became known as one of the most insufferable cast members of the show.
I taught you everything that you I turned into a boy into a man. I literally have done everything.
These two comparisons are only one of many that can be made from Love is Blind to the 12th Night. Love is Blind is nearly a factory for fake identities. Almost all of the people from the show put on exaggerated performances so after the pods, they can launch their social media influencer career, or even worse, a podcast. In a way, the Lachey's represent the fool. The two sit back and watch how each season progressively becomes more chaotic, and when necessary, they expose the ridiculousness of the cast, much like how the fool is knowledgeable of all the schemes and the love triangle. Like other reality TV hosts, the two are the ones in control and have almost godlike power over the couples. Their literal jobs are to instigate and dramatize the relationships, partly so they can get their ratings up, and partly because it's incredibly entertaining.
The conversation about not having sex during her cycle.
Oh my God, I never want to talk
Looking
about
back
this
on that, can we not? Well, we have to.
Was that a reason to avoid the intimacy? Because I think what you do know is other ways to not get pregnant.
I think there were a number of emotional kind of things that didn't lead to intimacy. I think that's fair to say.
I think we can agree that you guys should not have gotten married. At the altar, Ashley, you said everything you wanted to say. Was that a full intention to say that at that moment?
Yeah. Like the fool, they are the true most intelligent compared to the rest of the cast members, and are the ones who are truly in charge. Love is Blind depicts the most desperate, power-hungry, love-thirsty of our society. Perhaps this is just how humans are. We're greedy, manipulative, and are always seeking true connections with others, even if we don't understand who that person is. It's not just these reality TV freaks and Shakespearean characters that morph their identities. We all do. Politicians suppress who they are for money and to feed their god complexes. Celebrities reinvent themselves so they don't fall into irrelevance, and ordinary people constantly chase what they perceive to be the safety and security that the rich and powerful have. Every other middle school friend group eventually gets involved in love triangles similar to that of Olivia, Duke Orsino, and Viola, as the kids change their identities so they can feel like adults. Marias and Belches exist and thrive in high schools, where they can tear down others for their own amusement and to feel more dominant. Now again, I must ask, is love blind? Shakespeare says it can be. I say probably not.